What is up, everybody? I hope you guys are having a great day. Tons and tons and tons of blood in the street right now. Wanted to go over that a little bit. Also wanted to talk about potential opportunities in this space. Take a look at, historical price action of Bitcoin, what capitulation could look like, and, go over what some of the assets that we all know and talk about on a consistent basis, what they were sitting at when those previous capitulation or downtrend moments occurred, or when Bitcoin previously bottomed, because I think that there's potential for a lot of opportunity in this space right now. I wanted to start with this. Back in 2017, about a week after Bitcoin topped, I think it was December 16th, 2017, Long Island Iced Tea Company said that they were coming out, or they were pivoting to blockchain. This is right after the top, right? Well, we know we're not topped right now, but you see synergy as far as some of these announcements are concerned. Starbucks planning a global digital community around coffee with an NFT loyalty program. When you start seeing organizations like Starbucks that have no rhyme or reason and getting into the DLT space, and we know that everybody's going to eventually anyways, it kind of eludes me to believe that maybe we're a little bit oversaturated in this market. And I saw this a couple of days ago. The one thing I have been doing, I will say, Bitcoin's down 9% right now. It's $36,301. One thing I've been doing is kind of kicking a dead horse consistently with all of these videos, talking about the 21 EMA crossing below the 50 EMA and what that potentially has historically looked like when we have a confirmed cross on the weekly, which we have had. And I've talked about it multiple times. Wherever price action was sitting at when that cross was confirmed, historically, it's about 90 days until true capitulation and potentially a bottom. And historically, it's about 50%. The only outlier within that was March of 2020 during the COVID crash. Everything crashed. But what I wanted to do is present to you this, okay? Now, I've got a couple of different things here. I have to give a shout out to Crypto Crew University. I had the 200 SMA pulled up previously. He shared a great video today about the 210 SMA. So don't want to steal that dude's thunder. I would recommend going to check his video out here, but I'm going to use it kind of as a gauge. You look at these previous crosses, the 21 EMA below the 50, right? But let's look at capitulation and what capitulation looks like in Bitcoin, okay? We're touching base on this moving average, right? 10th of December 2018, 9th of March 2020. So let's go to December 2018 and potentially look at some of the prices, some of the assets that we care about, right? December 2018 for XRP, we are still sitting at about 30 cents, right? Quant is ridiculous. If you look at an asset like Quant, December 2018, 10th of December 2018, Quant was at $1.28. Quant is still at $92.60 right now. Algorand doesn't have the price history I think Zinfin does. 10th of December 2018 for something like Algorand, 0.0007 cents. So you're almost at about a 60x, right? As far as where prices still are within Zinfin. Hedera doesn't have the price history. Terra doesn't have the price history, I don't believe. Polkadot doesn't. Solana doesn't. All right, so the next one will be March of 2020, okay? Let's look at March of 2020. And let's say it's March... Let's say it's like March 6th or March 10th, 2020. Looking at XRP, 2020, March, 20 cents for XRP, right? Maybe we touch base, near some of those levels again. I don't know with XRP. March 2020, $1.55 for Quant. You can look at Algorand, March of 2020, and Algorand has underperformed a lot of people's expectations during this cycle, but I think Algorand is still a good long-term bet. March 2020 for Algorand, 27 cents. You're still 3x. Zinfin is probably ridiculous. March 2020, 0.001 cents. So you're looking at a 60x right there, probably a little bit more. March 2020 for Hedera Hashgraph, you're looking at about 3 cents. Terra Luna, March of 2020, 20 cents. And Terra is obviously at $81 right now. You can do the math as far as what that looks like. What is that, a 400x or something like that? It's ridiculous. I think Polkadot was probably... I'm not going to get it. I know Polkadot was maybe around during that time. I bought Polkadot around $200. That's before they did the reallocation and the repricing. So right about a $2 coin price. But I'm sure it's pretty similar. Look at Solana, March of 2020. I think this is only generating back to April, but 77 cents, and it's at $84 right now. All I'm trying to tell you guys is, I am not looking at this as from a seller's standpoint. I'm looking at this from an opportunity standpoint. I think trying to be a contrarian investor in the space and doing the opposite of what the herd is doing is really interesting to me. So, like, even from a mentality standpoint, I will say one of the hardest things that you will ever do in this entire space is be able to buy during or close to a bottom. And one of the hardest things that exists in crypto, period, or any investment aspects, period, is being able to sell close to or near a top. You're never going to catch a bottom or a top unless you're lucky. But what you potentially should do, what I would recommend doing, is putting together a plan. Everybody should have a plan right now. If Bitcoin capitulates, I'm looking at these, this, and this to enact my plan. I'm looking at these three indicators. If these three indicators are met within Bitcoin, and those are the indicators that I've chosen for my plan, I will act. And I will act in this way. I want to purchase this, and this, whatever it may be. It's very difficult to do that. I've been around during a few of these capitulation moments at this point. One of the hardest things you can ever convince yourself to do during that time is to buy. So remove the convincing and set a plan right now. There's assets that I want to accumulate if Bitcoin and if the market does this. And these are the assets that they are. And that is like the best. I mean, that's where, this isn't financial advice, but that's where, that's where wealth is really truly generated from, is these capitulation moments for the people that have plans, for the people that are able to act on these plans during potential, the worst portions of market cycles. And it's very difficult to convince yourself to do these things on the fly if those indicators occur. That's why it's good to look at all these different things now. It's good to set aside a plan, and this is the same goes for the opposite effect. If you're buying something, you should have a plan as far as when to potentially sell. Maybe you don't plan to sell. Maybe that is your plan. That is a fine plan, but you should always set yourself targets, whether the market's bullish or bearish, based on what you expect to achieve in this market. And for me personally, if we do have a capitulation moment, it's really interesting where this 210 SMA kind of leads us to. This is obviously going to consistently rise. And in tandem with that, kind of what I've talked about previously, which is after we have the EMA crosses, you're looking at potentially a 50% correction, about 90 days to capitulation. It would put us right above previous all-time high. Even looking at the total market cap of crypto, which I do have, I have like the 220 moving average pulled up there. You're looking at price action right above previous all-time high, which potentially, if we truly bottom, I would expect maybe that the total market cap of crypto, including Bitcoin, goes right above like that $800 billion market cap at that bottom standpoint. But look at a lot of the assets that you're interested in. Look for opportunities. Set aside a plan right now. The plan, it should not be my plan. It should not be anybody else's plan, because everybody else is different. Look at certain things. You can even look at these websites. Look into Bitcoin.com. I've shared that many times. It's a really, really easy website. You don't even have to know how to chart or do any of that stuff. And I'm not advocating myself as being this TA guru. I'm certainly not. I try to look at as simple as things as I possibly can in this space. This has a 200-week moving average pulled up on here as well. But there's multiple different charts within this. You can kind of take a look and mess around and see what interests you, see what fits within your plan. But yeah, you should have a plan. If we do capitulate, you can look at things like Cardano, and Cardano is at I think it was under 2 cents in March of 2020 when we had capitulation occur. And we know Cardano obviously went to like $3 or $4. Like Luna and Solana ran absolute ridiculous numbers as far as multipliers are concerned. And if you don't have a plan, you're gambling, in my opinion, during those time frames. And if you don't have a plan, you might not be able to act in a way that you want to act whenever we do have a potential moment of capitulation. But yeah, for right now in the interim, if we want to see Bitcoin in the market, kind of get back to that bullish sentiment, you're looking at, we need to kind of tackle that 46, 47K level and hold it as support, et cetera, et cetera. And just because I am talking about all this bearish shit right now does not mean that we're going to go straight down to 20K. You're going to have, nothing go straight down. These things take weeks and weeks and weeks to occur. You can kind of look at, what happened here. We kind of had that September 2018 cross. Really didn't have these capitulation candles until like November of 2018, and we didn't actually capitulate until December 2018. That's just one example, though. The outlier, like I've said before, is March of 2020. You had one gigantic weekly shit your pants type candle, and then we had a really quick recovery too. Historically, it takes a little bit longer, But we're all in this together, guys. I mean, I'll keep trying to find information, not only about XRP, but I think we're almost at the time now where, you know, it makes sense to talk about different assets as well, because there's going to be tons of opportunities out there, especially given the fact, you know, during this cycle we didn't even see XRP break all-time high. One of the reasons, and luckily I did choose to kind of start diversifying, probably late 2018. Very early 2019, I started really looking at different assets and diversifying, even though I still certainly hold XRP. There's a lot of people out there that are, in my opinion, providing information just to garner up their egos and things like that in this space, and are only talking about XRP. XRP is great. I love XRP. But it hasn't kind of garnered that generational wealth for a lot of people as far as what they expected it to do during this cycle. Can it still do it? Certainly. And I believe that XRP plays a gigantic role in the Internet of Value moving forward. But it always makes sense to zoom out and look at all of the opportunities in this space, not just the one opportunity, and kind of give yourself a fighting chance for worst case scenarios in this space, just in case things don't go the way that you want them to or dream them to go. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, just trying to shoot from the hip for you guys and be honest with you guys, and, you know, tell you what I'm looking at. I'm looking for opportunities right now. Still have my bags loaded. I'm not looking for selling opportunities. I'm looking for buying opportunities right now. The assets that I have that are what I would consider utility assets, I'm holding, and I'll just hold through these cycles, because I bought you know, Hedera and things like Quant at sustainable levels that I think I don't even know if they'll go below, like Quant at $3 and $30, and Hedera at 3 cents and 6 cents, and Alliance Block at like 6 cents, things like that. I've also made bad decisions during this cycle, just like, you know, everybody probably has. But yeah, set aside a plan and try to enact that plan if we do have a capitulation moment, because, you know, that is the one opportunity in this space where you can, if you're purchasing into utility or your proposed utility based on a plan that you have during the hardest time to possibly buy, which is close to or near the bottom, based on a plan that you have, based on indicators that you're watching, it is the one time that you should be able to sit back, relax, and not worry about those assets whatsoever for about a year. And then just kind of see what they're going to do after that capitulation, after the accumulation phase, after capitulation ends, and after we start seeing some bullish momentum again. It is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it provided a little bit of value. Again, it's just my opinion. And I will talk to you when I talk to you. Bye.